much. I am Hani Al-Qadi, your host and producer of this program. I'm proud tonight to introduce, actually to celebrate the coming of Alexander Elementary. It's not only an introduction, but it's a celebration of the new baby in our district. And to my right side is the lady that took care of the babies before. The first baby was Weber and some other schools, and then now Alexander, and she is doing a good job raising this baby. When will be the wedding? It's very soon, right? Mm-hmm. And on her right side is Diana Frisbee, the counselor. Chris Gibson is a friend of ours here for many years. You have seen her many, many times on this screen. And she needs no introduction because she is one of the eminent leaders and the reasons we are so proud of our school system here. And as we talked earlier backstage, the best thing is to describe you as a builder, not only a mommy, but a builder. Mm-hmm. And now you are taking care of the school, Alexander. So I will let you talk to our viewers about a little bit about your history, your career, and how you ended up accepting this challenge.
Well, I started in the Iowa City Community School District at Hills Elementary School as a teacher, and I was there for 3 years, and then I went to Weber Elementary as a teacher. And then after I taught there for 9 years, I was an assistant principal at Wickham for 1 year, and then I got to come back to my home at Weber and was the principal there for 10 years. And then there was this opportunity for Alexander to open, and it was calling my name. I just knew it was the right time in my career and just the right time for me. I just had this passion that this was the place that I needed to go next. And it was the right time, and it was the right fit, and I decided it was time to take that new challenge.
You probably felt that you have already accomplished what you needed to do at Weber, and Weber is established and very successful. Maybe let me start another success story. Is that what was going on in your head?
That's our goal. That's our goal. And I loved Weber, and I loved every minute of it. I was there for 19 years, and we had so many things to be proud of there, and I loved the community and the students and the families and the staff, and we have so many things to be proud of, and I'll always be proud of. That's always my home, but we were ready to take a new step.
And you had such a huge amount of languages spoken at the school. I think it was the most. The highest number of languages was at Weber.
Yeah, there were
people
quite a
from
few.
all over the world, and that was a very successful diversity experiment in the district. Maybe the first, as a matter of fact.
Maybe.
And so now building Alexander, what are the challenges that you are meeting now?
Well, I think the biggest challenge that we faced is just bringing together different communities of students. We have students from Twain and Grant Wood, and from different places around the school district and different places around the United States that have come together. And our big challenge is bringing the diversity together of students and staff, and just trying to build a new community where everybody feels trust and respect. And so we've been working very, very hard to just build that strong, cohesive, trusting community. And we've been doing a lot of things this year, starting way back in the summer, to try to build those bridges so we can have a cohesive, strong community of learners.
Diana, now you have been friends with your leader for a long time.
I have.
Tell me about that.
Well, I was actually teaching in the classroom at Wickham when she came as the assistant principal there, and that's when I first got to know her. And then I transitioned to Weber and was a classroom teacher there, so was able to continue working with her. And I think one of the things that, as I was listening to her talk, one of the things that's amazing about Chris is she is just such a lifelong learner and wanting to always enrich herself so that she can enrich other people. And so this opportunity to come to a new building, I think she was so passionate about, I want to be able to keep learning and keep moving and not stay in one place, not physically in one place, but just in terms of her professionalism and learning as an educator. And that's so incredibly contagious for the people that work with her. And so I was super excited to be able to go with her and be able to continue working with her and work on building this community.
What's so impressing about you, Chris, and I have to be very honest with you, is the fact that you moved from a school that is considered an upper middle class school. That's Weber.
Mm-hmm.
Sons, daughters, professors, and professionals. Most people are well off in this neighborhood, well to do. Into somehow a very diverse school with people, some of the parents are struggling, some of the parents are middle class, working class, and usually people who are leading schools, they like to do the opposite. After meeting the challenges of the fighting for the needy and succeeding, they would like to have some time with the rich.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it this way. You had exactly the opposite.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think as Weber's community was starting to change a little bit, our demographics were changing, and I was enjoying that change and learning so much and enjoying that very much. And I just felt that I needed to be with families and
Right.
students
That
that
need
had
support.
those needs. Yes. And I loved it, and I wanted to find a place that there were lots of students that needed me, and I wanted to work with a lot of, I knew there were a lot of teachers and staff members out in our community that wanted to work with students that had those needs as well.
And that's where you have the most impact, as a matter of fact. When you work with families who are struggling in life and trying to get education while they are in the meantime trying to win bread and butter, and you help them raise their kids and get a better education, then you can feel your role, you can feel your impact,
Mm-hmm.
fingerprints in their future and so forth.
All
And,
kids want to learn,
yeah.
and we just have to show them that they can and help them have set lifelong goals, set goals to make it to junior high, and set goals to graduate from high school. And we tell them, we believe in you. We want to be there when you graduate from high school. You call me up and invite me to come to your graduation ceremony. And then when you go to college, we want to be there when you graduate from college. And we're talking to them about those things every day. We want them to set goals. Every single one of those children that walk through our doors, we believe in all of them. And we want to set high goals, high expectations for every one of them.
Was it easy for you to think about a counselor when you were selecting your team?
Mm-hmm.
I know that you probably selected your team, right,
Mm-hmm.
as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
and it said, well, this challenge we are going to meet. I need this counselor, and is that the way you selected Diana?
Yep.
So it's your turn. I know these are difficult questions. Sometimes people don't talk about these things, because of the sensitivity about it. But we have to face it. We are in a stage now in our life, this country, where we have to be honest, very honest. Racism is still there. It's less than before, but it's still there. There is no doubt that most of the poor families don't get the same chances for higher education like families that are well off. So these challenges are there, and we have to talk about them. Unless we talk about them, we're just hiding our heads in the sand like an ostrich.
And we
So-
have those conversations with the students as well.
Yeah.
I mean, developmentally appropriate conversations, but you know, I want the kids to, and I think that's kind of our common goal is diversity is a good thing. There are some challenges involved with it, but talking about it and being open and communicating and learning. I mean, every single person has challenges. Every single family in every single building in our district has unique challenges. We just have to be able to figure out how we can support each other. And that's part of why it has been such a huge goal of ours to build that cohesive school community, because it's, when the kids can see each other as their biggest cheerleaders and best supporters, and when they see that we're on their side, and when they see the parents and the teachers working together and that we're all kind of pulling in the same direction, I think they can begin to see diversity as something that we don't have to shy away from. It's let's be honest about the challenges that are there, and let's face them head on, but let's know that we've got a lot of people that have our backs and what we're doing it. And that's been a really important goal for us.
We actually have to applaud the district for the fact that getting the needy kids and kids who are not having the same luck like others to live and enjoy a very sophisticated, ultra-modern building. Because I remember my time as a teacher when we were teaching at-risk kids, which were predominantly minority kids. We were just discarded somewhere on top of another building that didn't have air conditioning, didn't have heat, didn't have, we were just part of a warehouse that didn't have facilities. Now your kids are living in the best building in town.
It's beautiful.
So that's we have to give credit for people in the district for doing this, whether it's the administration, board, or whoever. But we have to give people credit, and I think that's important. Now, having finished this part, this wonderful falcon, how did you come up with the motto of the school, with the how the idea of falcon came about?
Well, the kids, we went out to the schools, both Mark Twain and Grantwood, last spring, and they voted on school colors and our mascot. And so it was the kids that came up with those things.
So they gave several different suggestions. We had all different kinds of suggestions and kind of narrowed it down and let them vote. And this just had such a, I just think it's amazing how this came about, because the falcon, there's so much significance behind just, we've talked about the laser-like focus and the,
They are the
perseverance
fastest, the fastest
Yeah.
birds ever.
A lot of
Small
symbolism
size
there.
and
Yeah.
and they know
soaring.
they know their target very well. They have focus,
Yep.
and they don't lose time.
Right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's a very good symbol. And then came up this poet in your school, this teacher that wrote this beautiful song.
Yeah, she
Right?
did.
She wrote beautiful lyrics. I read them, and they are very impressive.
Yeah, so Beth Madden is our instructional design strategist, and she took our mission and vision and our Falcon Focus, we call it, which is respect, responsibility, relationships, and pride. And she put all of these things together into this beautiful song. And it is something that our students, we've taught all of them. Our music teacher, Sarah Pringle, has taught all of the kids K through 6th grade, preschool through 6th grade actually. And finally, just in the past week, our whole school was able to come together and sing it for the very first time. And just reading the words makes you teary, but hearing the entire school sing them.
And I think we can see this in a couple of minutes now, because I want to share with our viewers the beautiful song. And once we put it on the screen, I will stop talking. But until we get the video running, let us talk about the fact that I was impressed to see the diversity among your population there. It's amazing. I think you have Africa, Asia, as well as Middle East, and you can see that now we have the video. Maybe can you start the song? That's good. Well, this is extremely impressive. Very good work. Extremely impressive. And how the kids reacted to this? They all know it, of course, by heart, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It was fun because when they first started learning it, the kids were coming back and they were so excited to tell Mrs. Madden, kids were singing it on the bus today. They were singing it at the bus stop. And so they were getting it in their heads, and it's kind of a tune that sticks in your mind once you've heard it a time or two. But, our goal is for them to not just sing the words, but to believe it in their hearts and live it out.
I want both of you to tell me about parents and how they are getting involved in the process of building the community of Alexander.
It's a good question. it's something that we need to keep working on.
Right.
We have a PTO, and our attendance at the parent-teacher organization meetings are spotty. Sometimes we have good participation, and sometimes it's a smaller group. We've had some parent nights, and those have been well attended. Really, our goal this year has been our student community, and working on just getting that strong and cohesive. And our goal next year will be to really work on bringing our parent community in to the school and getting them more involved. So we've got a lot more work to do with
We
our
do,
parents.
and there's always that work to do. But you know, I think we know that every single parent of every single child in that building loves their children, wants them to learn, wants what's best for them, and parenting is challenging for anybody, and to send your child off to school requires trust in the people that are working with your kids. And so I think part of what we're doing this year is just really working to establish that trust, to communicate with families, let them know who we are and what we're all about, try to communicate with them as much as we can, try to help people overcome whatever challenges might be standing in the way of them being able to get involved, whether it's language or transportation or just not getting being able to get the information from school to home. And I think as we continue to build relationships with the kids, then that will kind of lend credibility that parents hopefully will continue to be able to trust us. Because that has to be earned. We have to earn that with the families.
The other thing I want to make sure that we continue to convey is that in the beginning of the school year, we were working really, really hard to build trust with our kids and to bring two really big communities together, the Twain students and the Grant Wood students. And teachers also that didn't know each other. None of us knew each other, so we were really trying to get to know each other. And it took some time for us to really have behavior systems in place, establish common expectations across the building, and it took us some time.
And that's what you were looking for.
Yes.
Or that's what you were after.
Yes, and I feel like we are finally at a place where it is there's a lot more peace in our school, in our classrooms, in our hallways. And
It's
you can
nice to
walk
hear
in.
that.
Yes, and that's our goal,
Yeah.
to have a peaceful learning environment. And when you come in to visit, you'll see that. It does feel peaceful, and it's a good place to learn. It's a happy place to learn. You can feel joy when you walk through our school. And I want people to know that about us.
Yeah, I can see the faces of the choir, the kids who were singing, and they were like everybody having fun, you know.
Yeah.
It's there's no stress,
Yeah.
there's no fear.
Yeah, I think it was really heartwarming when we came back from winter break, and just the number of kids that just came running up, throwing their arms around staff members and around each other, saying, "I missed you, I'm glad to be back," and it just kind of felt like home. You know, it was kind of a validation of all the hard work that we've put into making them feel comfortable and safe.
Is there anything, Diana, you think that the community in general can help your efforts? The community, Iowa City community, can help you.
You know, I think right now one of the things that we're working on is just really working smarter with all of the community agencies and resources that we have that are already there, and just all trying to pull in the same direction. Like right now we have plans in the works with, you know, the police officers in the area and neighborhood centers where people are learning the same common language that we use for our behavior intervention and those kinds of things. So just communicating with each other is huge, just to be able to all the people that the kids come in contact with, so the kids are getting that consistent message. And so for us, it's continuing to build those connections, but you know, certainly I would invite anybody to come to our school and take a look at what we have going on, because there's some really good things going on, and I want people to understand that regardless of what needs people have or bring with them day by day, we've got some amazing families and some incredible scholars in our building and a lot of love in that school community.
Do you have a final word to our community at the end of the show?
I would just like to echo what Diana said, that it's a wonderful place of learning. It's become our home. I get excited about getting up and coming to work every day. Our kids are so full of love, and they're so excited about learning. And it is a wonderful place. And I would love to have community members come in and check us out, because people might have preconceived ideas in their head about what you might expect when you come to our building. But I think I would like people to come in and just see for themselves what really is happening in our four walls.
I am sure we are going to get a lot of response.
Good.
Because we are not only on channel 18, that's a cable channel. Some people don't have cable. And we are on channel 21, that's the education channel. And we are on public access TV website. People can reach us at the computer, or they can certainly go to YouTube, because we are going to be on YouTube in a few hours from now. So there are many ways that people will be able to know about Alexander. And I wish you all the best, and further success, and more achievements, and more glory. And you have already achieved a lot, and you made Alexander a big name in our community already, a place of diversity and peace and love. And thanks to you from the bottom of the heart, of not only me, but me and John Kerhoff, and Michael Peterson, the family of Public Access TV, and the education. We cannot forget Steve Marley and his team, and all the support you are getting from them. Thank you very much, and promise us to come back again.
All right, we'll be back.